Welcome back to the Best Start Guide, guys. It is day 149, and I don't even know how to count the number of blunders I made yesterday when making the team. It's kind of hilarious. I forgot, for one thing, I completely forgot that Vault Keeper Wixwell is actually a defense-based champion, which I reminded myself just looking at his skills. There it is right there. Defense, defense. And this doesn't do damage, but you get the idea. I figured, you know what? I'd better reconsider his build. So I completely rebuilt him, putting completely different pieces on him, and he's got 4,000 defense now because his shield is built off defense when he places the shield. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to try to place the shield with him rather than placing a shield with Valerie because I'm not convinced that her shield is all that big or all that strong. But I did put her in a shield set instead of the reflex set that I was putting everybody else in. So I'm going to try this again. It's probably still not going to work, but I figure I'm on my redemption arc here now. I got to make this work. This is the whole plan. I've changed my avatar and everything. I gotta make this account work with the you know with Wixwell because I mean look at the silver. Yesterday I started with what 72 million and I'm already down to 30 million. I could have at least run this during an event like an artifact enhancement event. I just didn't time it right, but I'm in a hurry. For reasons unknown, I'm in a hurry. I want to make this work so that I can get on top of getting these sweet, sweet sacred shards. But also, I want to get the legendary books. So just before I do the next clan boss test, uh, I'm going to go after any legendary book that I possibly can. There's a summoning event going on right now. I don't really have the shards to do it on this account, so what I might do is just save until I can dump enough shards to be able to get to the legendary skill tomes whenever they drop summon rushes. But there is the possibility of one book, and it's an event, isn't it? The champion training event. So this is what I'm going after today. I didn't hit champ training terribly hard yesterday, so I've really only got about a quarter of the way there. But I think I can use RSL helper on automation while I just do other stuff today. And hopefully I can get this one book, which would bring the grand total to, what, 5? It'd bring the grand total to 5, which makes it theoretically possible for me to get Wixwell fully booked in the exact right thing. I don't know what the odds are. They are not great. They're probably something like 1 in 64. But I will eventually get the books. But until then, hopefully, at least some of the time when I try out a Wixwell strategy, um, we'll get the cooldowns quickly enough that I'll be able to set the shields. That's the hope. I also rebuilt him with other things in mind because I realized, you know what, I also want to use him against Hydra. So to use him as a Hydra provoker, you need enough accuracy. So the accuracy requirement for the lowest level of Hydra is 100 145, I think. So 226 is definitely enough. I actually needed 230 accuracy to hit Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And here's the thing, 226 plus in the masteries, I managed to get to here. He's getting an extra 4 for each enemy alive. So that actually equals 230, which is the exact accuracy that you need for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. And if I want him to be a Mischief tank in Hydra, he's got 400 resistance. And I think you need 355 at the very lowest level of Hydra. So I could always try to build for more resistance later, but 400 is really what I needed. I'd love to get his speed a little bit higher, but 188 was all I could get. The speeds of the 3 buff extenders need to be close together. 185, and she is 181, I think. There it is, 181. So they should be close enough together that this should work. And this time, I am not going to run Corpulent Cadaver. I'm not going to run him. I actually took all of his stuff and I gave it to Valerie. She has a bigger amount of HP anyway. Because she's just she's a rank 6 champion now. So it was easier to get her HP higher. This will hopefully make the shield a little bit better. And I figured, you know what, she was never going to do that much damage anyway. So I'm gonna give her that. I could also have used Malkith, but the reason that I chose Valerie, even though Malkith has a slightly larger base of HP, naturally, Valerie does get a bonus because she does have a blessing. And I think that equals, come to think of it, because she's a rare, that's not that much. But anyway, it's the decision that I made. I made the decision that I made. Now it's time to do the arena fights. And by that, I mean, I actually wanted to do the clan boss thing, but I'm just going to check arena really quickly. If there's any easy ones, I'm just going to blow through them because, you know, I'm trying to get that mission done so that we can get our own arbiter. Awesome sauce. What was the other one? This one? So let's try this one quickly. Hopefully Foley can just straight up knock him out so he doesn't revive himself twice. Oh my god, he's tough though. Oh, this could take a while. Anyway, I decided I would take out Corpulent Cadaver from the clan boss team, and instead, I'm just going to run Kale because his damage is perfectly adequate. So there we go. Let's get into the clan boss fight. Actually, let's quickly look at the presets just to make sure everything's honky-dory. Copacetic. And come to think of it, let's see what we got from yesterday's clan boss chest. No shard, no book, no surprise. So, this is the team that I normally run. And this is my take 2 on the Ultra Nightmare clan boss team. So, ideally, we have Wixwell coming in, and he opens with his Codex Intercipio. And we're going to be placing increased defense and a shield, and hopefully that shield's going to hold. Then we're immediately just going to start extending it. I've got Blade Master coming out with her increased attack. Nope, she's coming out with the increased speed first. I'm actually shutting it off after the first turn. I guess I decided, I made this late last night. I think I decided this was the best way to run this, just make sure the increased speed goes up. But just looking at this right now, I am fairly confident that it's simply going to expire before I get a chance to use it. So maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, Wixwell is coming in with his extension after, but maybe I need to just stagger somebody else by 1. I could even open with her shield. Maybe I'll do it this way. This way it staggers the buff extensions just a little so that there's enough time to get this increased speed into the mix. And Kale is running at 160. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to see how it pans out. No promises to anybody. But I want this running on full auto because ultimately this does have to be a team that can hold its own when you're running full auto. So those shields are already pretty big. So evidently that was a big part of the problem. What I needed to do was make sure the shields weren't getting busted. So that's a problem. One of my buff extenders just got stunned, which means he's missing a turn. It looks like we might be okay though. Shields are getting bigger. It looks like Valerie's shield might be the smallest, but I think that might just be because Valerie has the most HP. And it's just kind of proportional. I think it might actually be holding, guys. So here's the theory behind the shields and how they grow. We actually have two different shields that are stacking on top of one another, because there's the shield set that Valerie's got equipped, but then there's also Wixwell's shield that he put up, and that he is now growing. So after I made my blunder of a video yesterday, I watched a couple of the other content creators who know more about the game mechanics than I do. Like Saf from Hell Hades, he made a video talking about why the way the shield growth implementation is bad. And it's partly because it's built off a proportion of the existing shields. So basically, the longer you start growing your shields, the more absolutely massive they get, and the more massive the growth itself gets. So basically, if you're constantly getting 15% of your shield, eventually 15% of that shield could be 4 million in terms of shielding. Anyway, Valerie's shield is gone, so evidently I have not done this perfectly well. Wixwell still has his shields. So obviously this still needs work. I like that Wixwell has managed to keep his shield, and I think this is the difference right here. Wixwell has a defense of 400. And I think that means he's just straight up taking less damage. I haven't been paying attention to the damage numbers popping out of my own guys because I've been too busy flapping my gums. But when I review this, I guess I'm going to see that. So I think the next thing to do is crank up everyone's defense. I think longevity is really more important than any kind of damage numbers I can pop out of anybody else. So that's going to be the next thing I do. I'm going to try to get everybody's defense to somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000. This is still better than yesterday. But this is still not really even a 4 key though. Really, these shields have to hold. Oh well. So I'm gonna go about getting the rest of the masteries slowly. This might actually take me a while, because again, I want to go after that book today. After that, we do the slow Minotaur runs, getting the masteries. I mean, the Minotaur runs are not necessarily all that slow, but basically I'm running these 3 in Minotaur while I slowly get their masteries. Where are they at now for everybody? Malkith. I mean, I could at least set some of the masteries, right? Like, typically in just about any clan boss build, you want to prioritize the damage. So they're all going to take the attack tree. They're all going to take the extra crit rate, the extra crit damage. So I'll take these right now. Extra crit rate, extra crit damage. Also, the theory is that they should be at full HP the whole time. So this is extra damage as well. Really, they should never be taking damage ever. And then we go down this way. All the way down to War Master, ultimately. So that's what I'm going to do with them, but tomorrow. Today, I am doing some nightmare runs. Here, let's just set some new food here. And go. So this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get some speed boots. Speed substat, speed main set. So I'm just farming the Nightmare campaign 6/6. And the goal is to get speed, speed, speed boots. So I basically want 6-star boots that have speed on them. And then I want to finally use. I'm sorry. I'm losing the words today. There's glyphs. There's essences. There's oils. What is it? So we prioritize speed. And well, I'll just say primary stat speed. So we're just looking at the boots. We go to the speed set. And I have a number of speed boots that I want to upgrade with. I'm still not sure what they're called, but I want to ascend them basically. I guess it's just called oil. And I want to keep trying them. And then I can use Chaos Dust to reset some of them. But I've been holding off on the Chaos Dust. And my thinking is this. It's probably better to use Chaos Dust on really difficult to get items like Relentless. So I might want to reset my my attempts at getting the speed stat on the Relentless speed boots, while I just keep going for new speed boots, and hopefully eventually getting them so that I can increase the speed of my fastest champion, who is currently Eastrid at 316. So that's kind of a side goal, but I don't know. Maybe I should kind of put a pin in that, because honestly, the thing I want to do today is I want to queue up, and it's not here, it's in events. I want to queue up everything so that I can go after this book, and then I want to keep an eye out for books in the future. So the next book I can get after that is almost certainly going to come from the advanced quests. And I'm trying to stay on top of these as much as possible, so I will have a legendary book within the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. That'd get me to 6. I'm still going to need 5 more after that. Where am I going to find those 5? I don't know. Because Doom Tower is very difficult. I managed to complete the first level of Doom Tower and nothing else. My team wiped on the second. I could try to do it manually to see what's wrong. And in normal, which there aren't legendary tomes in normal anyway, but I'm also stalled at Bommel 50. And really, the only way forward that I know of for Bommel 50 is going to be to use somebody that heals when he places his bombs. And I do have one such champion. I have Burengiri somewhere. There he is. So I would like to build Burengiri. It's champ training anyway, so maybe this is the guy I will build. I have been meaning to also build Corpulent Cadaver, just in case I can actually get the shields to hold. Then Corpulent Cadaver might be able to do some decent damage, especially if I actually gave him his blessing. That'd be helpful, eh? I probably just want to give him Phantom Touch so that he gets extra damage off that too. The extra 2,250 damage though, or hit points, should be good. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I may make an episode tomorrow as well, just because tomorrow is day 150, which is a special day. So I probably should make an episode then. And maybe I'll dedicate it to this Lordly Legionary who gets used by absolutely no one ever. It is a sad thing about Lordly Legionary. Maybe what I'll do tomorrow, I'll make an episode about Lordly Legionary and how to maybe make him a champion that people could get excited about. Because right now, I don't think anyone's ever used him. I get the sense that maybe his theory was he was supposed to be Fire Knight, but anyway, that's tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.